Hello ladies and gents, once again, Red Robin back here again with another Assassin's Creed video. We're actually going to be continuing from where we left off in the last video, which was literally managed to kill the last target of the hunt for the Nine, so to speak. And we're actually going to be literally continuing straight into this next one. We're actually going to be killing Robert de Sable in the next one. So we're going to do his next part of the present time storyline, and then we're going to jump straight into it. We'll see what happens.
Time's wasting, Mr. Miles.
Yeah, I'm coming.
We're nearly done, you know.
And then what?
You'll see. Maybe they'll even let you watch when it begins. It's not as terrible as you think.
Look, I know you're not gonna let me leave. So why not tell me what's going on? Humor me.
I'm not an idiot, Mr. Miles. I think you've already learned quite a bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
All right, let me ask you something else then.
Yes?
Some of the stuff I'm seeing in the Animus, sometimes it seems wrong. Untrue, like the history is off somehow. It doesn't...
It doesn't what, Mr. Miles? Match up with what you read on an online encyclopedia? What your high school history teacher taught you? Let me ask you something. Do these supposed experts have access to secret knowledge, kept hidden from the rest of us?
There are books, letters, documents, all sorts of source material from back then. Some of it seems to contradict what the Animus is showing me.
Anyone can write a book, and they can put whatever they want on its pages. Anything. Used to be, we thought the world was flat.
Some people still do.
Yes, and they publish books about it. Or that the moon landing was a hoax. I believe there's also a book claims the world was created in 7 days. A bestseller, too.
Where's this going, Doc?
The point, I suppose, is that you shouldn't trust everything you hear, everything you read. What's that your ancestors said? Nothing is true?
Everything is permitted.
Yes, exactly. It's part of what makes the Animus so spectacular. There's no room for misinterpretation.
There's always room.
Touché, Mr. Miles. Now that I've answered your question, can we begin?
Fair enough. I like how he quoted the Assassin's Creed there with that one. That surprised me a bit. Right, we're on the last segment. I need to double check. I think I've got actually everything that we need at the minute. We'll find out more when we get to the next next part. So, quick word of warning, guys. With this particular part,
you can create diversions with dead.
I'll actually say this after.
Soldiers will leave their posts.
Read, my student. We have much to discuss. We are close, Altair. Robert de Sable is now all that stands between us and victory. It is his mouth gives the orders. His hand pays the gold. With him dies the knowledge of the Templar treasure and any threat it might pose.
I still don't understand how a simple bit of treasure could cause so much chaos.
The Peace of Eden is temptation given form. Merely look at what it's done to Robert. Once he tasted of its power, the thing consumed him. He saw not a dangerous weapon to be destroyed, but a tool. One that would help him realize his life's ambition.
He dreamed of power then.
Yes and no. He dreamed, still dreams, like us, of peace.
But this is a man who sought to see the Holy Land consumed by war.
No, Altair. How can you not see when you're the one that opened my eyes to this?
What do you mean?
What do he and his followers want? A world in which all men are united. I do not despise his goal. I share it. But I take issue with the means. Peace is something to be learned, to be understood, to be embraced.
He would force it.
And rob us of our free will in the process.
Strange, to think of him in this way.
Never harbor hate for your victims, Altair. Such thoughts are poison, and will cloud your judgment.
Could he not be convinced, then, to end his mad quest?
I spoke to him in my way, through you. What was each killing if not a message? But he has chosen to ignore us.
Then there's only one thing left to do.
Jerusalem is where you faced him first. It's where you'll find him now. Let this final offering lend you strength. Go, Altair. It's time to finish this.
Right, so as I was saying earlier on, we are going to be continuing this a little bit further on. I actually do feel like this particular game, or this particular part, sorry, we are going to be... I just realised he's got his actual last bit of throwing knives on his shoulder, that's cool. So we are going to be actually lengthening this part up quite a bit, so instead of just killing Robert de Sable, we're actually going to continue on to the end as well. So honestly guys, buckle your seats in. You've probably already seen the length of the video already, and again, it's one of those things that I want to be able to extend this a bit further and see if we can try and get this game finished, and then I can then start work on the analysis. So we're going to head straight through to Jerusalem. We'll find out why he's in Jerusalem in a bit as well, actually. Rafik.
Safety and peace, Altair.
Upon you as well, brother.
Seems fate has a funny way with things.
So it's true then. Robert de Sable is in Jerusalem.
I've seen the knights myself.
Only misfortune follows that man. If he's here, it's because he intends ill. I won't give him the chance to act.
Do not let vengeance cloud your thoughts, brother. We both know no good can come of that.
I have not forgotten. You have nothing to fear. I do not seek revenge, but knowledge.
Truly you are not the man I once knew.
My work has taught me many things, revealed secrets to me. But there are still pieces of this puzzle I do not possess.
What do you mean?
All the men I've laid to rest have worked together, united by this man. Robert has designs upon the land. This much I know for certain. But how and why, when and where, these things remain out of reach.
Crusaders and Saracens working together?
They are none of these things, but something else. Templars.
The Templars are a part of the Crusader army.
Or so they'd like King Richard to believe. No, their only allegiance is to Robert de Sable and some mad idea that they will stop the war.
You spin a strange tale.
You have no idea, Malik. But tell me where they've been seen. I should be after him before he slips away.
3 places I can say for certain. West of here, near both a guard tower and a hospital. And to the southwest, at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. See what you can learn. I will do the same.
I'll be quick as I can.
Stay safe, my friend.
You dare steal in my presence?
I done wrong.
That will cost you your life!
Right.
You dare steal in my presence?
Let's go west. So, with this in mind, guys, this is going to be the final assassination, but then we're also going to go into the epilogue of this game as well. And then I can start work on the analysis side of things. Yeah, your entire sachet of fucking throwing knives to kill that one guy. Jesus. But yeah, guys, with that in mind, we are going to be... we are going to be doing this a bit more, basically an extended playthrough of this, to make sure we can get the ending sorted out. And then after we've done that, I'm then going to start work on my analysis of not just the ending, but also some of the characters as well. And then start having a look at and see what kind of correlation this can have to the other games as well. But I don't want to... I'm a bit 50-50 on doing the correlations between other games because we've... In terms of my YouTube channel, we've not actually gone past those areas as of yet. I would like to at least do that a little bit later, possibly. But, yeah, with that in mind, let's just see what we can find out. And I think I've just seen an informer, so... With that in mind...
Altair, my friend. You must help me. Malik has tasked me with killing several archers posted in the region, so that our brothers might move around more easily. Normally, it wouldn't be a problem, but this funeral has everyone on edge. The city guard has dispatched its best men to keep the peace, and I simply don't have the skill to remove them. I'd ask 2 favors of you then. First, to kill the bowmen, and second, do not tell Malik of my failure. In exchange, I'll see what I can learn of Robert's plans.
Fair. Yeah, I do think some of these missions are actually brand new. So in the last part I was saying that it seems that a lot of these missions that have been given, they're a bit different to what I would have played on 360. I think that's something I was a bit surprised at seeing. So before I even do any of that, I'm actually going to have to go and get some knives. That was an interesting way of pickpocketing him. Bloody hell. Let's try one more. Come on, there we go.
I think I've seen everything now. Someone should stop them.
What the hell? What exactly have I done wrong here?
You must help me deal with the archers, or there's no telling what Malik will do to me.
Oh, keep that nice and sweet. I'm happy with that.
What's wrong with you? No reason.
Right, get the throwing knives out, because I feel like we're going to need them.
Kill him! Stop him!
Could have been a lot worse.
Peace, often spoke of, never acted upon. But
I can hear an
today
interrogation
is
down
different.
below.
Crusader knights walk the streets of Jerusalem, and not in occupation. There is no evil in their hearts. And so we must seize this opportunity.
We'll head back to the informer, and then we'll go and get that interrogation out of the way as well.
I'm forever grateful for your aid. Malik would never have forgiven me. Here's what I've learned. For a man such as myself, a direct assault on the cemetery would be impossible. There's simply too many guards. Instead, I'd look to blend in with the scholars who are sure to be in attendance. It may not be the most direct approach, but it's certainly safer.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we've actually unlocked another one as well. It looks to be a pickpocket that we've got, so we've actually unlocked all of our interrogation sequences with that viewpoint we've managed to scan up. So with that in mind, we'll literally jump straight into the next one, which is the interrogation.
Now we are offered a chance at redemption. A chance to begin anew. Let us make peace with the Crusaders. Let us live as one. We must be strong, we must be brave, and we must find the courage to face those we once called our enemies and now instead call them friends. The Crusaders come to Jerusalem, bringing with them an opportunity to end the fighting, to stop the war. That we may stand as one, we must not turn them away.
I've got to admit, this is one common problem I've found with this. Yeah, this guy's got hands. There we go.
You speak of peace, but your words are hollow.
No, I speak the truth. Why would you say other?
You're a Templar.
So I am.
Then you are also a liar and a fraud, just like your master. Where is he? What does he intend?
It's peace he seeks, I swear it. And the proof is in his actions. A Christian at a Muslim's funeral. We want an end to all of this.
Only because it serves your needs.
But this is a noble thing we want. The land will be united beneath our banner.
United through force. You'd enslave us all.
It is for the best.
No, it's not. And so long as my brothers and I breathe, you will not succeed.
I need to get out of here now.
Please, can't you spare something? I'm poor and...
Right, let's move on to the next one and get this one out of the way.
I'm so hungry. Just a little money, I beg of you.
Good to see you,
No,
brother.
you don't
I trust you're here for
understand.
the
I have
funeral.
nothing.
Or for Robert, rather. I've kept my eyes and ears open, but I've nothing to report. Things are quiet here. Perhaps Tariq has seen or heard something you can use. He's stationed not far from here. Go to him. See what knowledge he has.
What's got him so bothered?
Need to make sure we can get this done. Come on.
Please, sir, have any money? Please, can't you spare something? I'm poor and sick and hungry. I beg
Excellent timing, Altair. I found something you'll find quite useful. Orders for Robert's guards. This map I've made will show you where he intends to station them. Put it to good use.
Right, nice one. With that in mind, guys, I'll see you guys back at the funeral. At the funeral? Bloody hell. At the bureau.
You've the scent of success about you, brother.
I've learned much about our enemy.
Share your knowledge then. Let us see what can be done with it.
Robert and his Templars walked the city. They've come to pay their respects to Majd-ud-Din. They'll attend his funeral, which means so will I.
What is this that Templars would attend his funeral?
I have yet to divine their true intentions, though I'll have a confession in time. The citizens themselves are divided. Many call for their lives. Still others insist that they are here to parley, to make peace.
Peace?
I told you. The others I've slain have said as much to me.
That would make them our allies. And yet we killed them.
Make no mistake, we are nothing like these men. Though their goal sounds noble, the means by which they'd achieve it are not. At least, that's what Al-Muallim told me.
So what is your plan?
I'll attend the funeral and confront Robert.
The sooner the better. Fortune favor your blade, brother.
Malik, before I go, there's something I should say.
Be out with it.
I've been a fool.
Normally I'd make no argument, but what is this? What are you talking about?
All this time, I never told you I was sorry. Too damn proud. You lost your arm because of me. Lost Qadar. You had every right to be angry.
I do not accept your apology.
I understand.
No, you don't. I do not accept your apology because you are not the same man who went with me into Solomon's temple. And so you have nothing to apologize for.
Malik.
Perhaps if I had not been so envious of you, I would not have been so careless myself. I'm just as much to blame.
Don't say such things.
We are one. As we share the glory of our victories, so too should we share the pain of our defeat. In this way, we grow closer. We grow stronger.
Thank you, brother.
Rest if you need to, Altair, that you might be ready for what lies ahead.
And that little bit is something I love about the character development between these two. And Malik actually goes on to become a really prominent character in the Assassin's Creed universe when it comes to Altair's story. And it's something that doesn't really get that much coverage, in all honesty, in comparison to other characters in the Assassin's Creed universe themselves. So in the books, Malik actually becomes a higher ranking assassin due to the events of the first game, and it actually shows quite prominently in later of Altair's life that he actually becomes sort of like a part commander, so to speak, for or sort of an advisor is probably the best way of putting it. And this is more for the fact that basically Masyaf doesn't go the way we think it will later in the years. And I'm talking like not next 20 years, I'm talking like the next 50, 60 odd years. it sort of goes downhill, but we'll actually go into a bit more detail with that as we go through it. But for right now, let's just head up to the funeral and let's get rid of Robert de Sable. After a very long time of waiting.
We gather here to mourn the loss of our beloved Majd-ud-Din. Taken too soon from this world. I know you feel sorrow and pain at his passing, but you should not. For just as we are all brought forth from the womb, so too must we all one day pass from this world. It is only natural, like the rising and the setting of the sun. Take this moment to reflect on his life and give thanks for all the good he did. Know that one day you will stand with him again in paradise.
I feel like Robert can see us in the crowd.
Amen.
Ooh.
As you know, this man was murdered. We have tried to track his killer, but it has proved difficult.
Shit.
These creatures cling to the shadows and run from any who would face them fairly. But not today, for it seems one stands among us. He mocks us with his presence and must be made to pay. Seize him! Bring him forward that God's justice might be done!
Go! We need to get up here. Cheeky fucker. Oh, what? That was a weird sound. Oh, you fucker! Oh, this is ridiculous now. Get fucked. There we go.
I would see your eyes before you die.
I sense you expected someone else.
What sorcery is this?
No sorcery. We knew you'd come. Robert needed to be sure he'd have time to get away.
So he flees.
We cannot deny your success. You have laid waste to our plans. First the treasure, then our men. Control of the Holy Land slipped away. But then he saw an opportunity. To reclaim what has been stolen. To turn your victories to our advantage.
Al-Muallim still holds your treasure, and we've routed your army before. Whatever Robert plans, he'll fail again.
Ah, but it's not just Templars you'll contend with now.
Speak sense.
Robert rides for Arsa to plead his case that Saracen and Crusader unite against the Assassins.
That will never happen. They have no reason to.
Had, perhaps. But now you've given them one. 9, in fact. The bodies you've left behind, victims on both sides. You've made the Assassins an enemy in common and ensured the annihilation of your entire order. Well done.
Not 9. 8.
What do you mean?
You were not my target. I will not take your life. You're free to go, but do not follow me.
I don't need to. You're already too late.
We'll see.
And that, guys, is another character that will actually come back later in life. So that character, her name is Maria. And she basically is part of the Templar Order, as we've just seen, but she is also quite an interesting sort of like key point in Altair's life from here onwards. And it's actually a bit surprising how much of an effect she has on the storyline, especially when it comes to bloodlines as well. We'll actually find her, we won't see her for now, but we will see her again quite soon. And that will be hopeful for the player's cards with. Shouldn't be too bad. But we'll make our way back to the Bureau now. And yeah, guys, I'll hopefully see you there soon. We're hoping to try and get this part of the segment cleared up pretty quickly, but we'll see what happens first.
It was a trap.
I had heard the funeral turned to chaos. What happened?
Robert de Sable was never here. He sent another in his stead. He was expecting me.
You must go to Al-Mu'alim.
There's no time. She told me where he's gone, what he plans. If I return to Masyaf, he might succeed. And then, I fear we'll be destroyed.
We have killed most of his men. He cannot hope to mount a proper attack. Wait, did you say she?
Yes, it was a woman. Strange, I know. But that's for another time. For now, we must focus on Robert. We may have thinned his ranks, but the man is clever. He goes to plead his case to Richard and Salah ad-Din, to unite them against the common enemy. Against us.
Surely you're mistaken. This makes no sense. These two men would never...
Oh, but they would. And we have ourselves to blame. The men I've killed, men on both sides of the conflict. Men important to both leaders. Robert's plan may be ambitious, but it makes sense. And it could work.
Look, brother. Things have changed. You must return to Masyaf. We cannot act without our master's permission. It could compromise the Brotherhood. I thought you had learned this.
Stop hiding behind words, Malik. You wield the creed and its tenets like some shield. He's keeping things from us. Important things. You were the one told me we could never know anything, only suspect. Well, I suspect this business with the Templars goes deeper. When I'm done with Robert, I will ride for Masyaf that we may have answers. But perhaps you could go now.
I cannot leave the city.
Then walk amongst its people. Seek out those who served the ones I slew. Learn what you can. You call yourself perceptive. Perhaps you'll see something I could not.
I don't know. I must think on this.
Do as you must, my friend. But it's time I ride for Arsuf. Every moment I delay, our enemy gets one step ahead of me.
Be careful, brother.
I will be. I promise.
Right, so this is one particular section that we need to sort of... I'm not sure we can fast travel this one. No, we can't. We have to escape the city by our own hand for this one. So with that in mind, we are going to make our way out of here now. The full alerts have been toned down so we can actually like walk amongst the city and do what we need to do. But this has now been a very interesting turn of events. We've actually managed to find that because of the Templars that we've slain on both sides, we've managed to figure out that Robert de Sable's plan is actually just to unite the entire Saracen and Christian army against us, or the Crusader army, sorry, against us. And because of that, it's quite a fucking, it's quite a clever plan actually. But it's something that he has made. He sort of made this plan a lot more recent, seeing as a lot of the people that I've killed, as more and more have come to light. I take it that a lot of people have seen, the problems that they have actually faced. And with this in mind, we will literally get on a horse and get the hell out of here. And it's been a while since we were on a horse last, so we'll make our way to our Arsuf now, which is going to be the next sort of segment. Now, we know that Robert de Sable was in Arsuf a while back, and it sounds like because of the amount of killings that's been going on, it sounds like Robert's just kind of done a 180 and gone, right, tell you what, plead case to Richard. That gets the assassins out of the way and then they can get the treasure back, basically. With that, we're going to go just into the kingdom for now and see what we can do and try and get in there.
Kills to create a distraction by throwing a knife, pushing somebody up.
Got to wait for the loading screen to turn around. So with this in mind, I think it's one of them that the more we see the politics of things shifting a little bit, the more we start to notice there's definitely something off with the way these certain targets kind of go about the business. But the way that the Templars sort of wanted to kind of control what was here was quite interesting, I'm going to have to admit. But at the same time, I feel that this first game sort of casts Templars in sort of like a sort of a light tone of what they're actually doing. Like it tends to shine a light where the Templars weren't doing anything wrong, they were actually trying to bring about like a new world, but in a way that it's more peaceful, so to speak. But the way they were doing it was what was wrong, and that is pretty much what the Templars sought out for. Is because of their kind of way of going about things. Might get things done quicker, but it's not the morally right way to do it. I've got to head. I think it's this way. I think. Yeah, this way. And that's pretty much the difference between the Assassins and Templars, is that they both want peace, but it's done in a certain way. Different ways have been done about it. Now, Assassins pretty much strive for free will in all things, but when it comes to the Templars, they want to have free will, but by force and by control. And they feel like they have to have some hand in actually gaining that peace in the first place by directly influencing history, rather than being unknown, sort of like stuck to the shadows, so to speak. So this is kind of where I think the game, this particular first one, establishes that quite well. But because of how sort of long the game can be and how many times you've had to go out and attack certain folk and this, that and the other, I hope I'm going the right way. I don't think I've actually gone the right way. I think I've gone the complete 180. We'll go the other way instead. I'm really trying not to run into any soldiers, because if I run into any, I'm going to get thrown off. Go this way. Straight behind here. But yeah, it's been a bit of an interesting journey, this, and I've got to admit that it's something that I've wanted to do Assassin's Creed for years, like just in terms of a playthrough and things like that. And it's been sort of the last couple of months where I've been playing like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I've actually started playing AC Valhalla quite recently. And I'm gonna have to admit, guys, I feel that coming back to these older games is gonna sort of give Assassin's Creed a sort of new light in a way, sort of the good things and the bad things that's wrong with the series at the minute. And it is a bloody shame, really, what's happening to Assassin's Creed at the moment. I feel like it's happening to a lot of franchises at the moment. But the less I probably speak about that, the better. But in terms of this next bit, this is going to be part of the epilogue sequence. So this is part where we're going to start getting a bit more of a lengthy sort of combat, so to speak.
When you're out of knives, refill your stock by returning to Messiah or by picking.
I forgot about returning to Messiah for infrared knives. So with this, we have to try and make our way through this area. Now there's a big difference here. With look at that, that looks like the Crusader army in its full. The Saracens wise, you'll see Crusaders knocking about backwards and forwards, and there is combat going on. Now you see the Saracens are attacking Crusaders, so both sort of don't know why it won't let me do that.
How did you do that?
Right. King. Out there. Straight up here. And what we're actually doing is making sure we can get out of here for one. It's just making sure that we get past all these guys. He shot his own man. And with that, we are running. Shit. Oh god, that's a lot of them. We have to be careful now with this Right. Just get running. I didn't expect that. Oh man. There's another load here on top of the thing. Shit. Yeah, just gonna have to build a short sword, I think. No, long sword still. What a killing. Bloody hell.
كبر أنت تتبع طريق الضلال ضوائك تتبادل سوف تموت
I will end your life.
Bloody hell. That was a lot of them. Right. Oh, now we're going into the Crusaders territory now. That was a lot of rocks.
Come back here.
Take it down.
Try and do this with a hidden blade.
Les flammes de l'enfer vont te dévorer. Tu vas pas me le payer cher.
That was good.
Puisse le Seigneur me donner.
This is working surprisingly well now.
Mercy, please!
Leave him to it.
Come no further. Hold a moment. It's words I bring, not steel.
Offering terms of surrender then. It's about time.
You misunderstand. It's Al-Muallim who sends me, not Salah ad-Din.
Assassin! What is the meaning of this? And be quick with it!
You've a traitor in your midst.
And he has hired you to kill me? Come to gloat about it before you strike? I won't be taken so easily!
It's not you I've come to kill. It's him.
Speak then! That I may judge the truth! Who is this traitor?
Robert de Sable.
My lieutenant!
He aims to betray.
That's not the way he tells it. He seeks revenge against your people for the havoc you've wrought in Acre. And I am inclined to support him. Some of my best men were murdered by some of yours.
It was I who killed them, and for good reason. Hear me out. William of Montferrat. He sought to use his soldiers to take Acre by force. Gagné de Naplouse. He would use his skills to indoctrinate and control any who resisted. Sabrand. He intended to block the ports, preventing your kingdom from providing aid. They betrayed you, and they took their orders from Robert.
You expect me to believe this outlandish tale?
You knew these men, better than I. Are you truly surprised to learn of their ill intentions?
Is this true?
My liege, it is an assassin that stands before us. These creatures are masters of manipulation. Of course it isn't true.
I've no reason to deceive.
Oh, but you do. You're afraid of what will happen to your little fortress. Can it withstand the combined might of the Saracen and the Crusader army?
My concern is for the people of the Holy Land. If I must sacrifice myself for there to be peace, so be it.
This is a strange place we find ourselves in. Each of you accusing the other.
There really is no time for this. I must be off to meet with Saladin and enlist his aid. The longer we delay, the harder this will become.
Hold a moment, Robert.
Why? What do you intend? Surely you do not believe him?
It is a difficult decision, one I cannot make alone. I must leave it in the hands of one wiser than I.
Thank you.
No, Robert, not you.
Then who?
The Lord. Let this be decided by combat. Surely God will side with the one whose cause is righteous.
If this is what you wish.
It is.
So be it. To arms, assassin!
Well, that's a bit fair, isn't it?
Du kannst nicht siegen. Unverteidigt. Wirst deine Strafe nicht entkommen. Wir entfliehen.
Trying to watch for anyone that tries to do like a mini taunt or anything like that. Trying to get them down a bit quicker.
Du bist mein. Du magst es noch nicht wissen, aber ich bin bereit. Mit mir, du Narr, bist es gleich nicht siegen. Ein Diener.
Here we go.
Höre den Zorn Gottes! Du magst es noch nicht wissen, aber ich bin bereits verloren!
The time for games is ended.
Shit. Might have to be a bit careful with this one. Nice.
It's done then. Your schemes, like you, are put to rest.
You know nothing of schemes. You're but a puppet. He betrayed you, boy. Just as he betrayed me.
Speak sense, Templar. Or not at all.
9 men he sent you to kill, yes? The 9 who guarded the treasure's secret.
What of it?
It wasn't 9 who found the treasure, assassin. Not 9, but 10.
A 10th? None may live who carry the secret. Give me his name.
Oh, but you know him well. And I doubt very much you'd take his life as willingly as you've taken mine.
Who?
It is your master, Al-Mualim.
But he is not a Templar.
Did you never wonder how it is he knew so much? Where to find us, how many we numbered, what we aspired to attain?
He is the master of the assassins.
Oui, master of lies. You and I just 2 more pawns in his grand game. And now, with my death, only you remain. Do you think he'll let you live, knowing what you do?
I've no interest in the treasure.
Ah, but he does. The only difference between your master and I is that he did not want to share.
No.
Ironic, isn't it? That I, your greatest enemy, kept you safe from harm. But now you've taken my life, and in the process, ended your own.
Shit. So basically it's now revealed that... Hold on.
Well fought, assassin. It seems God favors your cause this day.
God had nothing to do with it. I was the better fighter.
Ah, you may not believe in him, but it seems he believes in you. Before you go, I have a question.
Ask it then.
Why? Why travel all this way? Risk your life 1,000 times, all to kill a single man.
He threatened my brothers and what we stand for.
Ah, vengeance then?
No, not vengeance. Justice, that there might be peace.
This is what you fight for? Peace? Do you see the contradiction?
Some men cannot be reasoned with.
Like that madman, Saladin.
I think he'd like to see an end to this war as much as you.
So I've heard, but never seen.
Even if he doesn't say it, it's what the people want. Saracen and Crusader alike.
The people know not what they want. It's why they turn to men like us.
Then it falls to men like you to do what is right.
Nonsense. We come into the world kicking and screaming. Violent and unstable. It is what we are. We cannot help ourselves.
No. We are what we choose to be.
You're kind. Always playing with words.
I speak the truth. There's no trick to be found here.
We'll know soon enough. But I fear you cannot have what you desire this day. Even now, that heathen Saladin cuts through my men and I must attend to them. But perhaps, having seen how vulnerable he is, he will reconsider his actions. Yes, in time, what you seek may be possible.
You were no more secure than him. Do not forget that. The men you left behind to rule in your stead did not intend to serve you for longer than they had to.
Yes. I am well aware.
Then I'll take my leave. My master and I have much to discuss. It seems that even he is not without fault.
He is only human, as are we all. You as well.
Safety and peace be upon you.
And that is it. We're going to go, I think, back to the present time before heading to Wally. And I am going to keep continuing this till we finish it. And I know we're like approaching the hour mark at the moment.
I said get up, goddammit! Listen.
What's going on?
Oh no.
Seems your assassin friends found us.
What?
How'd you do it, Desmond?
Hey, look, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever's going on down there has got nothing to do with me.
They're here for you, and I sure as shit didn't invite them. What's the situation down there?
We're taking heavy fire.
Can you contain it? Or do I need to evacuate the prisoner?
Only 5 or 6. We've got them outnumbered. A couple of wounded, but we'll pull through. We'll get it under control.
God damn you, Desmond. You couldn't leave well enough alone.
I told you I had nothing to do with this. How would I even contact them? Telepathy? Come on.
Doesn't matter. They'll be dead soon enough. Here, have a listen.
That's been neutralized.
Looks like the cavalry won't be coming.
Dunno, Doc. We're freaking out a minute ago. Your little research facility not as secure as you thought it was? Worried they'll be back with more?
I don't think so, Desmond.
What Lucy here is trying to say is that there aren't any assassins left to come for you. We've been very busy this past year, hunting down your little enclaves, your desert communes and whatnot. I'm afraid you're on your own. Rest up, Mr. Miles.
Shit.
Tomorrow, we finish this.
Wait until Warren's left. Now, I just want to state one thing before we go into this whole thing that's going to be happening soon. It's not necessarily established until Assassin's Creed 2, but the bleeding effect. Now, the bleeding effect is something that will get explained throughout Assassin's Creed 2. Basically, what you do in the Animus, you can learn yourself in terms of experience. That's basically probably the most basic shit you could probably say it is. But I felt that the bleeding effect altered Desmond's mind in this particular game, and the reason, this is going back to when I first played the game, and you'll know with this next particular segment why I felt like it was the bleeding effect. I felt like it was actually a real thing that had happened, until later it got revealed that it wasn't that.
I'm sorry, Desmond.
You mentioned the desert. Do you think...
They sent a team there, but the place was deserted. I don't know where your parents are, and I can't promise they're still alive. But I think they got away.
Thanks. Thanks for checking.
It's not as bad as it seems.
What are you talking about? They just literally killed, my only chance of getting out of here. And then I find out the assassins are all but destroyed, and Christ, I still don't know what these people are planning. But I do know they plan to kill me when they're done. I am screwed, okay? What do you want me to do?
Just try and have a little faith. Have faith. Rest up, Desmond. You're gonna need the energy.
And that is why I thought the bleeding effect had some effect on what had going on. Because she's got a finger there. She actually has got a finger. But on the 360 version, for some reason, it looked like it had actually been cut off. Like it had actually been, like it was actually like a little stub. And I actually felt that, hold on, is that the bleeding effect doing that? To show that she's actually one of the assassins, which it's already revealed that she has been. Or is she just... You know, is that what they've done? Is that still a thing going on? Turns out that thing got the whole thing with the sacrificial ring finger being gone, being chopped off basically, that's gone completely. Whereas in this case,
get up.
I felt like it was still there.
Even earlier than usual, Doc.
I'd like to get this over with as quickly as possible.
If you say so.
Don't be so glum, Mr. Miles. Today is a historic day. One that will be remembered for years to come. Remembered by some of us, anyway.
He's a dick, isn't he? So yeah, basically when it comes down to it, I thought the bleeding effect had some effect on this part of the storyline. Turns out it don't. Lucy literally just folds a finger in, and that is it. That's literally the difference between her being sassy and not. So with this in that mind, I don't think there's anything else I can get, really. I don't think I did anything in the present time beforehand. I think I should have done. But I think we could pick up where we left off at the end of this game. So we'll see what happens. And with that, we're going to just jump straight into this next part.
Where is everyone?
Gone to see the Master.
Was it the Templars? Did they attack again?
They walk the path.
What path? What are you talking about?
Towards the light.
Speak sense.
There is only what the Master shows us. This is the truth.
You've lost your mind.
You too will walk the path, or you will perish. So the Master commands.
It was Al-Mualim, wasn't it? What's he done to you?
Praise be to the Master, for he has led us to the light.
So basically, Al-Mualim seems to have actually used the Apple of Eden to enslave all of the villagers, as well as the actual creed. And you'll notice that certain folk will actually follow you around for this bit, and they all are actually. They're all following you. Now, the only awkward thing about this, there's no point trying to hurt any of them because it won't make a difference.
Mualim, guide us, command us.
And the thing is, he's used the Apple of Eden to enslave the whole village. Now, that's pretty much what the Templars tried to do, but in a way prepare them for it, which is weird to say at least.
Your life is now.
Oh shit. God, these guys are fucking tough. I do apologise, guys, for... I'm not going to fly off this, am I? Get off me. Crap. What's this grabbing? Off the edge. Ooh.
As the Master commands.
Thank God for that.
Kill the traitor! The Master! He does not walk the path.
Oh!
Destroy him!
I just decided to just hit me for fucking it then. Shit me. Nice. Oh, Malik.
Altair, up here!
Is Raouf up there as well? It looks like Raouf's up there. Raouf is the guy who spoke to us at the beginning, but he's also one of the trainers.
You picked a fine time to arrive.
So it seems.
Guard yourself well, friend. Al-Mualim has betrayed us.
Yes. Betrayed his Templar allies as well.
How do you know?
After we spoke, I returned to the ruins beneath Solomon's temple. Robert had kept a journal, filled its pages with revelations. What I read there broke my heart. But it also opened my eyes. You were right, Altair. All along our master has used us. We were not meant to save the Holy Land, but deliver it to him. He must be stopped.
Be careful, Malik. What he's done to the others, he'll do to us given the chance. You must stay far from him.
What would you propose? My blade arm is still strong and my men remain my own. It would be a mistake not to use us.
Distract these thralls then. Assault the fortress from behind. If you can draw their attention away from me, I might reach Al-Mualim.
I will do as you ask, Dai.
The men we face, their minds are not their own. If you can avoid killing them.
Yes. Though he has betrayed the tenets of the Creed, it does not mean we must as well. I'll do what I can.
It's all I ask. Safety and peace, my friend.
Your presence here will deliver us both.
I think this is where I think Malik becomes a really good friend of Altair's. And it's what surprises me about this whole thing, though. This is something that does my head in. I think Abbas Sofyan, who's not actually been in this game since the very beginning, I feel like he was actually enthralled as well with the bloody piece of Eden. We actually don't actually find that out until a good chunk of the way through. I think it's after the events of this game, but we don't find out until partway through Revelations. So it's always a little bit strange.
So many innocents. I must be careful not to harm them.
And literally, Al-Mualim seems to have put all these people here to sort of dissuade anyone from coming in. There's literally no one here. One thing we'll do is go and check up the top. There doesn't seem to be anything there. So yeah, it's a bit surprising. And I wasn't really surprised with Al-Mualim's betrayal, but at the same time, with how it's been done is weird. This next bit's going to get even stranger.
No! What's happening?
So, the student returns.
I've never been one to run.
Never been one to listen either.
I still live because of it.
What will I do with you?
Let me go.
Oh, Altair. I hear the hatred in your voice. Feel its heat. Let you go? Well, that would be unwise.
Why are you doing this?
I found proof.
Proof of what?
That nothing is true. And everything is permitted. Come. Destroy the betrayer. Send him from
Oh
this
shit.
world.
It's all of the targets. How's he brought them back? Most recent. Oh, they're all assassins. Willing demand for that. Sibrand. Majduddin. Tamir.
Face me! Or are you afraid?
I have stood before 1,000 men, all of them superior to you, and all of them dead, by my hand. I am not afraid.
Prove it.
What could I possibly fear? Look at the power I command.
Fucking hell. Shit. Didn't think of this one, did I?
Have you any final words?
You lied to me. Called Robert's goal foul when all along it was yours as well.
I've never been much good at sharing.
You won't succeed. Others will find the strength to stand against you.
And this is why, so long as men maintain free will, there can be no peace.
I killed the last man who spoke as such.
Bold words, boy. But just words.
Then let me go. I'll put words into action. Tell me, Master, why did you not make me like the other assassins? Why allow me to retain my mind?
Who you are and what you do are twined too tight together. To rob you of one would have deprived me of the other. And those Templars had to die. But the truth is, I did try. In my study, when I showed you the treasure. But you are not like the others. You saw through the illusion.
Illusion?
That's all it's ever done. This Templar treasure, this piece of Eden, this word of God. Do you understand now? The Red Sea was never parted. Water never turned to wine. It was not the machinations of Iris that spawned the Trojan War, but this! Illusions! All of them!
What you plan is no less an illusion. To force men to follow you against their will.
Is it any less real than the phantoms the Saracens and Crusaders follow now? Those craven gods who retreat from this world that men might slaughter one another in their names? They live amongst an illusion already. I'm simply giving them another. One that demands less blood.
At least they choose these phantoms.
Or do they? Aside from the occasional convert or heretic?
It isn't right.
Ah, and now logic has left you. In its place, you embrace emotion. I am disappointed.
What's to be done then?
You will not follow me, and I cannot compel you.
And you refuse to give up this evil scheme.
It seems then we are at an impasse.
No, we are at an end.
I will miss you, Altair. You were my very best student.
Fucking hell.
Impossible. The student does not defeat the teacher.
الشيء واقع مطلق بل كل ممكن.
So it seems. You have won then. Go and claim your prize.
You held fire in your hand, old man. It should have been destroyed.
Destroy the only thing capable of ending the Crusades and creating true peace? Never.
Then I will.
We'll see about that. I applied my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceived that this also was a chasing after wind, for in much wisdom is much grief. And he that increaseth knowledge, increaseth sorrow. Destroy it! Destroy it, as you said you would.
I can't.
Yes, you can, Altair. But you won't.
La Shaya wacui mutlag bel kulun munkin. Translates to nothing is true, everything is permitted. With this, Al-Mualim understood what happened.
We've got it.
And that has unveiled all of the locations, all of the other Apple of Edens that are out there. The one that we had, that was in that, was destroyed in an accident.
What the hell was that?
Well?
We've got the map.
How many?
At least half a dozen.
We don't need them all.
We should assume some amount of decay. I can't imagine they'll all still be functioning. At least 2 appear to reside on land masses that no longer exist.
We'll dispatch teams to each site and determine viability. We only need 1, after all.
What about the rest?
Collect them.
Let's not leave anything to chance. Last thing we need is some damn survivor making trouble for us in the new world.
And the assassin?
We have what we need. Kill him.
Wait. You know how these things work. I doubt we'll be able to walk right in.
What's your point?
We might need him. His memories. I'd recommend we hold him until we have confirmation that there aren't any surprises waiting for us at the sites.
This is a waste of time.
You said it yourself. We shouldn't leave anything to chance.
Very well. Ensure we have no further need of him, then kill him.
Fine. Stop undermining my authority.
I just saved your ass.
Let's go. We've got a lot of work to do. Don't get too comfortable, Mr. Miles. We'll be back for you soon enough.
And that, guys...
What the hell is that?
And that, guys, is it. That is the last time we will see Lucy and Warren for a while. Whilst we're on that subject, we're starting to see strange visions all over the room. With this in mind, we are going to go onto the computers before we carry on. I think they may have locked them out though. Or the game might have locked these out completely. So with that in mind, if they actually have, then we are going to go into try and get into the other room. If it turns out we can't get access to any of these rooms whatsoever or anything, we'll wait until the credits are over and done with it. I might actually put that piece in as like a last little segment button to interact. So this room's now unlockable. Now, those guys walked out through here. Now they're gone. But this area has now been unlocked completely. Now, from what we've seen, there's no symbols, there's no nothing in here, but they're all next door. There is, however, a computer over here that we can use. And this is where it starts to reveal a little bit more about what is going on. We got the password earlier on, so we can now use that. Project Lead number 9. Whoever that is. Alan Rickin, analysis, September 7th at 8 o'clock. Warren, the others and I have finished reviewing the Animus recordings for subjects 12 through 16. There were 16 other people before Desmond came in. While the Piece of Eden remains our priority, we must all continue working to locate and understand the remaining artifacts. I am sure you can understand our reasoning behind this, although the satellite is intended to accomplish a fair portion of the work for us. We will certainly need to deal with those who are either immune to or protected from its effects, such as what Altair was protected against. Please take a moment to look over our finds and get back to me with any feedback you may have. I will summarise all below. Piece of Eden number 3. We applaud your continued efforts to locate an alternate artefact following the loss of number 2 in the DIA satellite accident. We understand subject 17, Desmond, is having trouble interfacing with the Animus, leading to delays. As a result, we estimate another 24 hours before your next critical update. In the meantime, we'll prepare an extraction team and set them to stand by. We're relying on you to obtain the additional information we require. He knows where the other objects are, even if he doesn't realise it. You must unlock that final memory, or all of this will have been for nothing. Philadelphia Project. Data provided from Animus Subject 12 indicates that the ship briefly manifested in a future state for approximately 18 minutes. It is unclear whether the timeline is consistent with or parallel to our own. Although we have recovered enough data to reconstruct and repair the original artifact used in the experiment, administration has refused to move forward on the project, citing paradox concerns. Corporate policy remains in place. Any objects found to interfere with or manipulate time must be contained. Artifact will be moved to secure storage. That's a weird one. Philadelphia Project. Might actually have to look into that one, actually. The Tunguska incident, which was actually a... What was Tunguska? Something that became blown up at one point. Now believed to be the direct result of assault by assassins. Research station destroyed as was artifact. Alternate wave generation devices have been located in storage, but we have insufficient data at the moment to initiate research. The risk of accident is too high. Lineage Discovery and Acquisition Division should attempt to locate descendants of any attack survivors, either Assassin or Brotherhood, in order to continue research. Resurrecting this particular type of technology will aid us greatly in any holdouts following the satellite's activation. We're putting together a team to push research in this area. Grail. We are removing the Grail from our list of objectives. There is insufficient evidence to confirm its existence. Current examination of Subject 17 indicates that aside from the Piece of Eden, all other artifacts related to Christ figure are literary devices or derived from Piece of Eden and not actual objects. Even if the object is real, its use to us at this stage is negligible. Our resources are better used elsewhere. So the Holy Grail was actually meant to be a Piece of Eden, in a way. The Mitchell-Hedges communicators. Analysis of the objects is complete. The good news is that they work. As a result, we now have a safe and secure communication channel for use after the launch. However, they are severely limited in number, and so we will be providing them only to our most essential facilities. You will obviously retain possession of the one that you have. Warren, I cannot stress how important it is that you wrap things up with Subject 17 as soon as possible. We're obviously relieved that you seem to be closing in on the target in memory, but you need to step it up. Everything we're working towards depends on you retrieving those locations. Without them, we've got nothing. May the Father of Understanding guide you to success. Alan Rickin. And that, guys, is literally the only message that is in that. And it's actually safe to assume that the project lead computer was addressed to Alan Rickin. I've actually got my young pup up here as well who actually wants to get involved. So I'm just going to bring him up just for the end of this video. Oh, steady on, bud. He just wants to sit on my lap. So with this in mind, guys, we're actually going to head to find out... Rolly, stop please. We're actually going to see if we can get this last little bit of the visions sort of cleared up a bit. So we're starting off here. Yonaguni. Is that Japanese? Well, there are different bits and pieces on the floor. It looks like blood, in all honesty. Temples. Some kind of mountain with like a river underneath. What looks to be a barcode. Right, so that is a date, 21st of December 2012, which was actually the original. Apparently, it was part of the Mayan calendar to be the. Apparently, it was supposed to be the end of the world. And we're not really sure what this Temple of Wording is supposed to be. That's something I've not really looked into all that much. And there are different symbols around, but they're not in. There's not a great excess of them over this way. And it turns out the bleed effect is already come into effect with Desmond at the minute. He has actually got the eagle vision that Altair once had. This section here, I'm guessing is some kind of maybe a word search or something. I genuinely can't work out what this is, unless it's some kind of anagram or something like that. And that is supposed to be the symbol for the Apple of Eden, I believe it is. You'll also notice an Egyptian symbol across here as well, which links up it possibly into Assassin's Creed Origins. 3 squares, I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Maybe the making of the Egyptian temples, possibly. Now this next bit is where we're going to end this off.
Oh my god. It looks like... Is that blood? What the hell were they keeping here before me? And what happened to him? What does it mean, I wonder?
And that, guys, is it. Now, we are going to probably cut this off at that, but I am going to see if we can try and turn this down as well in game. So guys, that is Assassin's Creed 1, and in all honesty, I'm really happy I've come back and played this. It's been a very, very long time since I last played it, and I feel that going back to this after so long, it's kind of made me feel a bit more happy about going back through like Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and so on. What I'm actually going to be doing is my next sort of playthrough or next game to play through is going to be possibly Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, and that'll be to sort of get the later information on Altair's life. With that, we'll start to get a bit more information regarding certain characters such as Maria, but then at the same time we'll also be going with Malik, I believe, as well. A couple more different places to explore as well, and with that in mind, we'll have to see how far we'll go with this, so to speak. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we can do sort of next, and I'm also looking forward to seeing the next game in this series, which is actually Assassin's Creed 2. What I'm going to be doing is playing Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, then I'm going to possibly do a video on Altair's later life before going any further into Assassin's Creed 2. But before I do Assassin's Creed 2, I'm actually going to do a reaction to one of the short films that's used as a prequel before before Assassin's Creed 2 actually starts. And we're going to be using that as sort of like a springboard to go off of that and then into Assassin's Creed 2 itself. In terms of the books, I'm very glad I've actually read the Secret Crusade. It's taken a while to get that properly read up for this, and I am looking forward to playing it a lot, to actually reading a lot more of the other books. Like I've said before, I'm skipping number 2 and Brotherhood, and I'm going to be going possibly into Revelations. I'll have to see what happens in terms of the books themselves, but I want to go into other books at the same time, so I might end up going into I believe it's Assassin's Creed Forsaken, which is actually based on Haytham Kenway's life, like early life, and also focuses partly on Captain Edward Kenway as well, which we'll go into that a lot later. But this is like months and months down the line before we get into that, so it might not even happen. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this playthrough. I'm really glad I've come back to this. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it so far as well. And I feel that I want to go further and play Bloodlines pretty soon and see if I can get that sorted out as well, and also get the perspective of what was going on in that timeline as well. There is a part of the book that's dedicated to that game, and it does go quite in depth with the relations between Altair and Maria, as far as I know. There's also a section in Assassin's Creed 2 where it also goes into a bit of that, but it's only a small segment, so to speak. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do next. But with that in mind, guys, we are going to jump forward to the end of this game, where we can actually see if we can get access to the computers again and see if there is anything that we're not really missing, or if we are missing anything. If there is anything that we've missed, I will probably record that bit. If not, then I will leave this video at that. And it does seem like I think we're at the end of this credits as well. So I think we'll probably just jump into this now, in all honesty. I was actually quite surprised the credits were as long as what they were. So we could actually analyse this stuff. And I probably might go into slight spoiler territory for the other games, or for where the settings are. But I just want to double check the computers before I do anything else. And the game actually at this point gives you free reign to walk around the facility. And unfortunately, you don't get any access to any information of what happens to Lucy or Warren or anyone. There's just no information whatsoever. Conference room door. See that? Hi Warren, the passcode was changed last night. They change them once a week. So that... Actually, I never read that. Unless that was something I missed. I'm not sure of that one. But there is certain things that I think are missed when it comes to this game. I feel like they could have actually done a little bit more work on that. I feel that they could have worked on what actually happened during the accident. There's no kind of evidence to state what had actually happened, or at least to show us what had happened. And you can only assume a lot of different things have gone off. So with this in mind, we've actually got a load of new inboxes now for this. And we've actually got a bit of information regarding Subject 16. I finished my report on Subject 16. You should take a look when you have some time. I believe it validates my belief that we need to be treating them with greater care. Failure to do so will result in further breakdowns. I'll summarise things for now, since I realise you're probably pretty busy. Prolonged exposure to the Animus caused a bleeding effect within Subject 16's genetic structure. The result was a blending of genetic and real-time memory. He became unable to distinguish his own life from those of his ancestors, as witnessed with the incident in this room. I believe that this effect is very similar to certain forms of multiple personality and delusional disorders. People who claim to be experiencing past lives or the presence of other minds within their own are quite possibly experiencing a naturally occurring version of this bleeding effect. Though the specific symptoms may vary from subject to subject, the end result is the same. They lose their minds. This is what I believe happened to Subject 16. One of his ancestors seems to have been involved in an important event in the ancient Far East. The war writings he left us defy any conventional explanation, though I am not ready to dismiss them just yet. Per your request, I've asked for a linguist and a historian to research them further in case there is some significance. I'll let you know if they come back to us with anything. I'll get you a full copy of the report so that you can review my findings when you have the time. I know this is not unimportant to you, Warren, but it would mean a lot to me if you just take a look and think about it. We don't need to push them so hard. We don't need to kill them. From a purely practical perspective, there's no point in destroying the subjects anyway. Once they're dead, their knowledge is lost to us forever. And we both know how dangerous that can be. Thanks for your time. That confirms so many different things that I had when I was thinking about this and actually reading up on this type of thing. There were so many things that didn't make sense to me at the time. And this is where stuff gets a bit funky. So Alan Rickon, additional subjects. If this kid isn't getting us to what we need, it's time to start looking elsewhere. I've CC'd David from our acquisitions department. He may be able to provide you with a couple of additional test subjects should Desmond be retired. In case you need reminding, we are running out of time. This crap with the fluoride enhancement is going to put us under a lot of scrutiny. We need to launch on the 21st. If we wait any longer, we'll risk everything being frozen during the investigation. I have a feeling that none of our friends in DC are going to do us any favours in this one. We'll deal with them come election time. We've cleaned up the mess at DIA, but I'm hearing there's some jackass baggage handler trolling news groups and nutjob websites with his tales of mass murder and corporate cover-ups. Where's he even getting this information from? Your report said the project lead killed everyone down there before our cleanup crews arrived. Ooh, I still understand how they managed to botch that so badly. Anyway, we're trying to figure out who the hell he is so we can shut him up, but he's proving difficult. I'm beginning to wonder if he doesn't have help. It seems like there are still a couple of those assassin bastards running loose. It only takes one, but you already know that. Makes me wonder if the fluoride leak was internal after all, and if it was, are we dealing with a whistleblower or something worse? I'm about to get ready to pull the plug on your Subject 17, so either get me results or get another person into that Animus. Alan. Shit. Mexican president promises better border security concerned about record numbers of illegal immigrants entering his country. The president of Mexico today promised to ramp up border security. Opponents are worried about an increase in violence between American refugees and Mexican troops. Fighting between the two groups has left 300 dead and nearly 1,000 wounded over the past 6 months. That's nothing to me at the minute. Talks continue regarding the aftermath of L11 outbreak. Nearly 6 years later, little progress has been made in dealing with the repercussions of what history books now refer to as the Second Plague. With nearly 96% of its population decimated over a 3-month period, the continent of Africa is now virtually uninhabited. Plans to divide up the continent have met with strong resistance and claims to neo-colonialism. One protester had this to say: whether we're 100 or 100 million, this is still our home and no one has the right to take it from us. Why does that feel very relevant? That's strange. But that is the final email. And with that in mind, guys, I feel that we are going to actually wrap this up for now. And this is going to be the final part of this playthrough. So we're going to be jumping into another game at some point soon. we're not going to be finished with Desmond's story for a while. It is going to continue in later games, and with this in mind, I think we're going to call that a wrap. So I'd like to say a very special thank you to you all for joining in. I know this video is quite a long one, but it's got a lot of different bits of information going on inside it, and it's something that I'm looking forward to going into a bit further about when it comes to the later games. Going into my theories on what made Al-Mualim kind of go the way he did, and also at the same time, what is the intentions of the Assassins versus the Templars. But whether these come to fruition or not in terms of video form is a different matter entirely. So with that in mind, guys, I hope you guys like this video enough to put a like on the video as well. Please make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with any more information regarding these games. And also at the same time, if you want to see me play Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, please let me know in the comments below. Every little bit of comment and every little bit of information always helps. And with that, guys, I'd like to say a very special thank you to you all. Very special thank you as well to Celtic Circles for commenting on the last couple of videos as well. Honestly, mate, the feedback has been absolutely appreciated. And I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavours, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later. Thank you.